Hi, it's me, Psychic Emma. Welcome to another video. Um, Afterwards, please feel free to visit my website, happylight.co.za, and remember to subscribe. So I thought I would tell you a story about my skills as a medium. It's not such a happy story, this one. I will tell other happy stories at a later stage, but this is just a personal experience. So, last year in 2020, in the middle of the year, I was talking to a client on the phone, and the spirit of my grandmother walked into the room, and she just greeted me, smiled, and waved. And immediately I started crying because if I'd seen her through that veil, it meant that she had passed over. And I had 15 minutes left with that client. And my gosh, I just held it together. I was like, I can do this. I can do this. And eventually the client saw that I was emotional, and she said, "What's going on?" I said, "Listen, I've just seen the spirit of my grandmother. I'm very certain that she's just passed over, and I know that I still owe you 15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes left to go, but like I just need a moment just to pull myself back towards myself." And turns out she's one of those people who like does ceremonies and stuff. So she was able to hold the space for me quite nicely while it took just a minute to myself, finished her reading, and I had a little bit of a crying afterwards. So it was very, very sad. But the beautiful thing about being a medium is that my gran visits me all the time, like all the time, and it's beautiful. And it's often when I'm connecting over to the other side for my clients that my gran comes along, and I'm like, hello, Nonna. And so she's Italian, so instead of saying grandmother, you say nonna. So then I'm like, oh, hello, nonna. And then she just like hangs out by the door. She loves to watch what I'm doing. She finds it so bizarre because obviously being Italian and all, she's Catholic. So this whole medium thing is like not in her comfort zone. But on the other side, she's very loving and flamboyantly Italian. Unless you've spent time with Italian people, you won't know. It's the best. But I'm not just saying it's because it's my culture. I mean, Italian people are fantastic. You know, they go blah 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 blah, and we're like, oh, and then it turns out they're just going, hey, how are you? But it's so dramatic. But anyway, so she's very happy on the other side, and that's quite lovely. She struggled with certain aspects of passing over at first, like certain family dynamics, and then it was actually quite lovely how I always talk about the golden being. The golden being was pulled into action over here, and I was like, please help my gran to pass over in completion with all of her so that she can be fully in the light. I talk about the stages of death actually with my clients, and so I will very briefly go into that. But basically, there's different stages of passing over, and to go into the fifth stage means you are completely one with the light. To go into the seventh stage means you have overcome the human existence. You are in another dimension or another plane of existence that is far beyond our comprehension. People who are stuck in the first and the second are usually ghosts. Let's call them that. They don't want to leave the human plane of existence. They stick around, and that's when they move things. They'll literally knock your thing of CDs over or something. They move things, which is not fun. And then the third and the fourth is quite, if someone has had a spiritual life, but they were struggling a bit with their belief system, maybe based on their suffering, like how could their higher powers allow something like this to happen, or their suffering or whatever. It's like when they've had doubts due to whatever experiences that they've had in their lives, and then they pass over, and then they struggle to acclimatize with the light. They stay in the third or the fourth stage. And the fourth stage itself is meaning that they're almost there. They just need someone to go and give them a little push. Fifth stage is like, yeah, gold stars all around, you have arrived. And then I've met like one soul that went to the seventh stage, and I was like, we are not worthy, we are not worthy. That's very rare. Yeah. So my gran was in the fourth stage, and I, out of curiosity, hired another medium, because it's like if you are an accountant, Sometimes you just don't want to do your books. Sometimes you want someone else to do your books for you. It's like that. You just want someone to check things, just to reassure you, to go, yes, you did all the maths right. So, yeah. So I hired a medium, and the medium confirmed everything that I'd seen. And from the way that she described her personality, I was like, that's definitely my nonna. And then the way she described her was also as I perceived her. And then I realized that she needed help with the golden being. So what the golden being does for those who have passed over is essentially it goes within to the seed of our human existence, which is our heart, and it expands its light. So that essentially any human baggage that you're still holding onto is transmuted. It's turned into light. And if you're not holding on to any aspect of your human existence, you will go into the fifth stage, because then you are at peace with the light, because we are not holding on to any negative experiences anymore. So I organized this, and I was like, okay, golden being, they've got to help me out here. Yeah, basically, I want my grand, obviously, to be in the fifth stage where it's beautiful with all the amazing light. Whatever you believe in when you're alive, if you're fully in the light, you can manifest it. So if you think that the afterlife is beautiful trees and lakes and lying around the lawn and watching the sunrise and the sunset and stuff, then that is what you will manifest in completion. And when you're on the fifth level, then it's like glowing and pulsating with bright lights, and it's lovely. From what I've seen of it, I'm like, ooh, I better start working on my belief system so that I like believe in my core that there's going to be, I don't know, super tubes and water world and rock pools and nature, and I don't know, I'm going to have to figure out what my belief system is. Yeah. It's quite funny, but it is whatever you believe it is. So I'm like, I want to make up something fantastic and try and believe it so that when I get to the other side, I can go, this is great. Yeah. Yes. So the golden being came along, went kapow with my nonna. She was glowing with the light, and then I'd seen those little niggly issues that she still had about her aspects of her human existence, and it released itself. And then she was fully in the light, and she was like, she was like, thank you, Kara. Kara means dear. Thank you, dear. So that was really nice. That was a beautiful experience to help my own grandmother go fully into the light. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, please subscribe so that you can get notified when I release new videos. So subscribe, and you will hear from me soon. And you can visit my website, happylight.co.za, if you would like to book your own reading with me. Okay, bye.